Hello, Dawgpound South campers. Welcome to the Cleveland Browns Dawgpound South podcast, part of the Fanatical Elves Network, part of the Fans First Sports Network. I'm your host, Steve Gill, and if you noticed, I'm wearing a nice new hat. This comes from our contributor, Jarrell, at Jarrell Flint, and you can find this at dogfoodstore.com. He sent me a hat. This isn't the only one. Look at that bad boy, orange and gray. I love this one. And this is my wife, Karen. That's her favorite. And then we got it in black as well. Cool. I love this hat. I am a hat snob. Everybody who knows me knows I got hats. I got more Cleveland hats. I got Cavs, Ohio State, Guardians/Indians, but mostly Browns. Because when I was president of the Middle Tennessee Browns backers, they would, the worldwide Browns backers would send me a hat with Browns backer president embroidered on the side. Just a little perk for all the 15 years that I did my time. So, second session or third session of OTAs, you had rookie, and then you had phase 3. The first one, second one just finished this week, and then in a couple of weeks we'll have mandatory mini camp, and then they're off until they meet at the Greenbrier. So in between now and then, you're going to hear and see and read about a ton of stupid crap. I saw something this morning about what was it? It was worst contracts ever. Gee, take a guess who they picked. Of course, Deshaun Watson. You got your top 10 list. We talked about it Thursday. Best looking head coaches. I mean, all this crap is coming out right now. And it really doesn't matter. It's power rankings. I saw one best roster without the quarterback. By the way, the Browns are number 2. Stop. This is all clickbait. Clickbait. They want to get you. They want to have, as soon as you click on that article to read it, the cookies go into your system, and you will be hearing from them no matter what. Your spam folder will be full. So, first of all, ignore it. The only thing that matters is W's. And after reading a little bit more about the interviews, we talked about it on Thursday, and I wrote an article Friday about the OTA expectations for Fans First Sports Network. Go and find it. I love the fact that when the media was there on Thursday, they allowed the coordinators to talk. And like I said Thursday night, I can listen to Jim Schwartz talk all day long. And I like how he is very blunt and straightforward. He knows what the problem was against Houston, and he's going to fix it. And he used a great baseball analogy. Pitchers can sit there. If they have a great fastball, they can throw their fastball. But you got to throw a curve or a changeup just to keep the batter honest. And that's what he's working on for this offseason. The changeup, the curve, the slider. That's what he's working on. And he's got the talent to do it. You look at this defensive line, and you can go back to Fans First Sports Network. I did a way too early 53-man roster. I had 6 defensive linemen. Defensive tackles. I had to. You look at these guys, you can intermix them. Zadarius Smith, Quentin Jefferson, Michael Hall, Alex Wright can all play defensive tackle and defensive end, and they can give pressure. It's going to be more pressure. You saw it last year. I've started watching old games. I just watched the Colts game the other day. Let me tell you something. I watched that game and the Baltimore game, the one in Baltimore. For all the grief Elijah Moore gets, it is unfair. That guy on the last drive in Indy and the last drive in Baltimore, he came up big. Go back, watch him. Just you don't have to watch the whole game. Just go to YouTube, watch the highlights. They're like 15 minutes long. Just watch. This guy, he came up big. But anyway, so I am very happy that Jim Schwartz is going to change it up a little bit. Usually when you get returning members back that you had the previous year, they tend to get a little, there's a little malaise. I don't think this is going to happen, especially after watching the new defensive line coach on Unleashed. Whew, that man is intense. So anyway, and then you got to talk to Ken Dorsey. Ken Dorsey suggested that Deshaun Watson would be ready to throw beginning in training camp in July. I love that news. Like it a lot. And then they talked to Bubba Ventrone, who is working through the new kickoff rules. It sounds like he's got something up his sleeve. It sounds like he is, this is where coordinators, you give them a new problem to solve. And if they're a good coordinator, they will not only solve that problem, but they'll put new wrinkles into it. And I got a feeling Bubba Ventrone's coming up with something. He was the one to put that Indy game with the Myles Garrett block. He was the one to put Myles Garrett in for field goals. So remember that. Let's take a quick break, and we'll be back after these commercials. All right, so OTAs, expectations, what I saw on the videos and everyone who's watched social media. On offense, I saw a lot more motion, pre-snap motion, which I love. That continues to tell me that Ken Dorsey will call plays. Also, surprise, Cleveland media, Mike Vrabel is hands-on. Now, I'm coming to you from Nashville, Tennessee, and I get a healthy dose of Titans coverage every year. And this will come as no surprise to any Browns fan who lives in Nashville, Tennessee, that Mike Vrabel is hands-on. Yes, he does this. He does this. He does this during OTAs. He does this during training camp. He even does this during the week, game weeks. He likes to get in and teach players by showing them. And that's what he does. And that's why he, Andrew Berry, Kevin Stefanski, all get along. It's all about the personnel. It's all about teaching. And that's why Jim Schwartz is extremely happy to have Mike Vrabel as a consultant. Now, he can leave anytime he wants to. He can move on anytime he wants to. He doesn't have to be there during football season, but I guarantee he's going to be there during football season. You think you're going to hear him speak to the media as a consultant? When Jim Schwartz was a consultant here in Nashville for the Titans, he never got interviewed. Jim Washburn, who is an excellent defensive line coach, who's also an advisor. You didn't hear from him last year with the Browns. So, we'll wait to see, hair on fire for the Cleveland media when they don't get to talk to Mike Vrabel. He might want to. Who knows? As a coach who gives an interview, he will rub you the wrong way a little bit. I warn you, Cleveland media, don't ask the wrong question. He will, you'll find out. He just doesn't like being questioned. I'll put it to you that way, because he knows. He's like Jeff Fisher. He knows more than you do because he's actually coached. And Jeff Fisher actually said that to a reporter once here in Nashville. He looked at the reporter and said, "How many NFL games have you coached?" Next question. So that's the way Mike Vrabel is. He's a little gruff, but during teaching sessions, this is what he'll do. He will go on the field. He will get in a linebacker position. He will rush the passer to either teach a running back, a tight end, an lineman what to expect, and a quarterback. And he'll drop in coverage. He has done this in Nashville since he's been the head coach of the Tennessee Titans. So this was not a shock to me. I saw it on social media, and I just went, yeah, well, that's Mike Vrabel. That's what he does. So we head into the almost dead period of NFL football. So just a reminder, ignore all the lists. They're just clickbait. They just want you to click on it. I don't even look at that crap. I don't even look at betting lines anymore, because it's until they start training camp, until the guys all show up for every team. And it doesn't even matter with preseason games either. But, there's little things you can pick up in preseason games. But it really doesn't matter until then. All right. Thank you for joining me today. This has been the Cleveland Browns Dawgpound South podcast, part of the Fanatical Elves Network, part of the Fans First Sports Network. Again, we want to remind you, dogfoodstore.com, and it's dog is spelled the correct way, D-A-W-G, just like Dawgpound South, D-A-W-G. Go by, get a hat, get a shirt, get a sweatshirt. The clothing is fantastic. I got a sweatshirt as well. You're not going to regret it. Jarrell knows what he's talking about. Also, Noah Olson, at Noah Olson 77, is setting up a store for not only his merch, but also for the Fanatical Elves Network merch. So, get you some swag. Also, let me just remind you of the other contributors here at the Fanatical Elves Network. You've got, like I said, Noah Olson, 77, at L Marconi, 1973. That's Lou. At Jarrell Flint. At Samuel and Browns, A&D Browns. That's Samuel down in Texas. At Cleve Rob B. And at John Sukan. SUCHAN, and I am, of course, at Seatown Thug. So thank you for joining me today, and everybody have a great day, and go Browns.